You need to have good mentors in your life.
We throw up. How long could you walk with a pebble in your shoe?
Quickest way to lose what you have is to focus on what you don't have.
So if a 400-pound person came up to you and asked you to get baptized, what thoughts would go through your head?
A 400-pound person wants to be baptized. What is my thoughts?
Get the pool ready.
I would say I would politely ask them to go last, just in case we needed the water for the other candidates. That would probably be my answer.
Take this thing to the river. Yeah.
Welcome to the one. Oh! That song turns a 3 into a 10. To the only.
She ate a whole cow and just...
Coda's Crib podcast.
And you heard the donkey just...
I'm more afraid of lions than Asians.
So at what point are we taking innocent chicken lives?
Welcome back to Coda's Crib podcast, the number 4 podcast in the world. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Today, we are here with a special guest of Solid Rock Church, Pastor Josh Franklin. Woo. Yes. Give it up. Thank
Glad
you.
to be here, gentlemen.
Thank you for coming on. I gotta give credit, props to Tyler getting this guest arranged. So thank you, Tyler. Your Jamie status is going up from last week.
I thank the Lord.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Are you really number 4 in the world? That's pretty awesome. Now I'm nervous.
Yeah. We're in an upward trend. So
that's great. I like it.
But yeah,
Our view of the world is like Covington.
And I was gonna say in my house, like.
Oh, okay. So your world, as in your world.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I got you.
Yeah, we take our stats. It's a little all over the place.
Yeah.
But that's all right. So I was trying to look up a little bio of Josh Franklin on the church website. I couldn't see I wanted to know everything. I was trying to do my background, my research.
There's not much there.
Tell us, for those listening that don't know who you are, just give us a little brief overview of who you are. Just however you want to go with that.
All right. So I would say that I am happy to be on your show. Thank you.
Man.
This is an honor to be able to do this. And a little bit about me. Wow. So I'm 42. I know I don't look it. But 42 years old and been doing ministry for, I would say, the majority of my adult life. And kind of doing that and working full-time in telecommunications, man.
Okay.
So more on the wireless side. So have the privilege of kind of seeing both worlds and looking out and just, I don't know, man, it's just interesting being able to remain in the job force and also doing ministry. It's kind of neat.
Now, how long have you been doing ministry and job force? Like your whole ministry career? Have you ever been just ministry or?
So outside of just like maybe teaching Sunday school or college students at one point in time, when I would consider myself where I was really focused on helping like pour into the ministry and see it grow and that kind of thing, I would say probably about 6 years.
Okay, 6
Doing
years.
both, yeah.
Okay, now, and did you grow up a PK, pastor's kid?
Absolutely.
Oh
PK in the
man,
house.
I bring that up now. The viewers, they don't know what to do.
That was interesting, growing up. But I'll tell you this, it's helped me to really kind of see things in the church from the perspective of coming up in the church and being able to speak into some things that maybe when I was younger I just did more listening and observing, but now I get to, participate in helping bring some new vision, fresh vision to the church to maybe help with some things that I saw coming up. So little things like that helped.
Now, did you grow up your whole life being a pastor's kid? So your dad been?
Yes, from day one.
Oof.
From day one.
Now he's got his own PKs.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's right. And I actually hadn't thought of that until now. Man, I feel bad for my kids.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, destroying the PK stereotype. I like it. All right. I have 5 just quick questions of just, these are questions just going to let them get to know who you are a little bit more, all right?
Sure.
We didn't rehearse these, so it's just off top of the dome, but it's easy, I promise. All right.
All right.
Is your car messy or clean?
Clean.
Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
All right. Morning or night person?
I would say
Definitely not a
morning?
night person. This man goes
morning.
to bed at 8:30.
I do go to bed like at
8:30, really?
7:30 if I'm home.
Oh my
But
I'm like,
nah.
no, Kenny was trying to bump this up. We were gonna run
Yeah.
at 6. He said, "Can we get
Can we get
4:30?"
early just in case we run over?
That's
But,
right. Okay. How long could you walk with a pebble in your shoe?
Not long.
Why is there not a desk in your office?
Because I'm a pretty mobile guy.
Okay.
We were gonna go in there and record it, but then it just didn't feel right. There are some weird noises up in the ceiling, and we're like, we can't do it in here. And then he says, "So this man doesn't have a desk in his room? What's going on?"
Yeah, he told me this was your office, and I was like, "Where's the desk?"
I
It's
want to
just-
be as much like Jesus as I can, and
There
I
you
want to be
go.
on the go.
Okay.
Right?
Hey, I like that. That's a good answer right there. Clip that. Okay. And then last question: who's your favorite kid?
Kid in general or my kid?
Your kid.
Oh man, I equally love my kids.
Oh, the
There we
political
go.
answer.
Heard that
I
one
like it.
before.
Absolutely.
That's when
I
that-
like different things about each one, but 100% equal. And I was raised that way to really, if I do for one in a certain area, I'm going to do for the other.
Now you have your brother. You have just one brother, right?
Right.
Okay, so one brother. Now y'all, Joe leads worship, so he leads worship.
Yep.
You pastor. What's it kind of like working? Because I have 3 brothers and a sister, and at some point in time, I've worked with them in and out. My dad owns a company, so I've kind of worked alongside of them. What's it like in a ministry setting to work together with him?
Well, so going all the way back to high school, Joe and I always worked together, working the crowd, whether it be a not so good crowd, or whether it be where we're at now in life, a much better situation. But it is an absolute honor to work alongside of my brother. It's a dream come true, really. Not only do I work with my brother, but I also live next to my brother.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, Franklin
And-
compound.
Yeah,
There you go.
absolutely. Live next door to my dad and mom. So it really is a blessing. Joe and his wife both, Christina, it's an honor, man, to work with family and to do ministry together. And Joe's an unbelievable musician. Did I say that right?
Yep.
And no, it's just cool to see him grow. I can't explain to you what it does on the inside when you get to serve with family. I mean, it was an honor coming up under my dad's leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So just really neat to serve alongside of those guys and everyone else that we get the privilege to work with. It's a joy, man.
Joe's a great worship pastor and a great boss.
Listen to him. Oh my goodness, man.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Clip that one and send it to him.
Josh, you were here. So it was like 2 Sundays ago, and we were singing Gratitude. I was singing Gratitude, and it was probably my most embarrassing moment, like on stage, at least for me. Nobody probably noticed it out here, but for me. So we're singing Gratitude. We're coming out of the bridge, and leading up to that chorus, the chorus is like, "So I throw up my hands," right? That's the chorus, and I say, "What are we gonna do? We throw up." And so I throw up and I was just like,
Everyone throw
in
up.
my head, I was
All at
like,
once.
oh my gosh, what did I just say? And I went backstage
You know
and cried.
what? I bet you nobody even caught it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I caught it. The Lord caught it.
That's all right.
Thanks for watching and supporting Coda Script Podcast. Another way you can support Coda Script Podcast is by commenting below on this video. Commenting helps push this video out and gets more eyes on the pod. So make sure you comment who you want to see next on the pod. Who's the next big guest we could get for you? So make sure you comment and enjoy watching the rest of this episode with special guest Josh Franklin.
Here's a crazy story. I just remember this as I thought about it. So one time I was, this crushed me because I was like, honey, how do you think today went? And she said, it was all right.
Oh.
I was thinking,
Oh, no.
man, that's like her saying it was terrible.
Yeah.
You probably said something about her.
Huh?
You probably said something about her in the message.
I might have, yeah. I might
That's
have
right.
picked on her in the message, but nah. But it's, we don't do it for the performance. But
Right.
a lot of times, if you're not careful, the enemy gets in there and starts messing with you like, man, you shouldn't be doing this. You're horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the end of the day, it's encouragement is good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Another question we had. So obviously, and like I said, you said 6 years full-time ministry so
Yeah.
far. So in that, obviously, there's a lot of ups and downs, spiritual highs and lows, and all that. What keeps you from being spiritually drained? Because I think a lot of people, not just not just pastors, but I mean everybody in their walk with the Lord, everybody goes through those moments where you just are spiritually drained or just not, like, say, at a spiritual high, and everybody has their ups and lows. But what keeps you kind of level, or if you are experiencing your lows, what gets you back up or keeps you consistent?
So you do go through those ups and downs, those highs and lows, for sure. I would say in the high times, that's a temptation in itself, because when you get off the stage from preaching a message, or you leave from ministering to someone, you want to make sure that you're doing it with the right heart, and you're doing it without pride being in the way. Right. So there's a temptation even at the peak of the ministry, but then there's also the temptation at the lowest point, because you really begin to question, whether this is right for you, this is God's calling for you. There's got to be somebody else out there. I'm bombing in this right now. I'm just not, my heart's not in it. I'm just going through the motions. And I guess what brings me back is the Holy Spirit has a way of just giving you fresh vision. And sometimes that comes through just your study time, your quiet time, being in the Word. And sometimes it comes through others, God sending people that they just show up. I mean, they show up, but you know that they were sent in that season, because they come in and they're excited, and you feed off of that excitement. That's why the church is critical that we are unified in what we're doing and in the direction we're heading, because I don't know if feeding off one another is a proper spiritual term, but if you think about it, the metaphor that the Bible uses is a body, and so we obviously need to all work together, and every role is important, equally important in the church, and that's why it's so important that we come suited up, ready to go to worship God, and then go into the world and teach those and disciple those and share Christ with those, because it can be discouraging for all of us. It doesn't matter what role you're in, whether you're preaching on Sunday or whether you're just serving in the church in another capacity. It can be moments of discouraging, but at the end of the day, that's why the Bible talks about it's a journey, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So we have to be in it for the long haul. It's the long game. It's kind of like your 401k. Do y'all have 401ks?
No.
I'm getting it set up in January.
I'll tell you a funny story. When I first got my 401k, I get distracted real easily too, by the way.
That's all.
But when I first started my 401k, I thought 401k meant that's how much money they were going to put in my 401k when it started. But that's not at all. It's just the name of the plan. So I was like, so I'm not going to have $401,000 in this account starting out? And they're like, no, that's just, I was like, okay, whatever. But it's a lot like a 401k, it has its ups and downs, but, it's the long game, and it's until Jesus comes or until we go and meet him that we just keep pressing in and pressing on.
Yeah, I think it's cool that you say it's the long game, because especially like now, I'm going to say my generation, that's weird, but like younger people, I think we just inherently kind of, just in this world, everything's just about like now. What can I get now? And I think that's so cool of you saying like it's the long game. It's like say I like say like the little deposits you're putting in each day. Like say you were saying like in your study time, being in the Word, being in prayer, in those things. Like say it's the little investments, the small investments you put in that are going to down the road if you're consistent with it. But I think that's so cool. Just especially now, everybody's wanting to see like immediate results. Oh, I prayed for this last night, a 10-second prayer, why didn't I get this? All that stuff. I think that's a cool way, awesome to break it down that way. You can help us right now by making sure that you're subbed to this channel. 97% of people who watch this pod are not subscribed. Make sure you're not one of them. Make sure that your sub, notification bells turn on, like, share, follow this pod. That's how you can support us. Now enjoy watching the rest of this episode with special guest Pastor Josh Franklin.
And I was writing a devotional this week. I was asked to write something, a devotional that they're going to publish in a paper or something like that. I'm not really exactly sure where it's going to end up.
Ooh, big
But
man.
regardless, it's not that big of a deal. Y'all calm down.
That's what they all say.
But it was weird because I started out writing the devotion on being a servant, okay? And what does that look like? And then it just sort of transformed into this devotion on mentorship, and Titus 2 talks a lot about that, to where the older teaching the younger. And if I had anything to say to encourage younger people, it is to, and including myself, I still consider myself young.
Absolutely.
But I think I read recently, or heard recently rather, that mentorship is one of the most important things to a young leader. And you need to have good mentors in your life, because when you want to give up, or when you want that instant gratification that doesn't always come, it more than likely won't, and or you want what you want and you want it right then and there, a mentor can speak into your life and say, hey, look, I want to encourage you in this, because I hear what you're saying, but you need to be patient. You need to remain content and appreciate the things that you have around you now. Don't lose sight of what you have around you. I believe it was Tony Evans that said that the quickest way to lose what you have is to focus on what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's good.
A really good word. And so it's good to have those people in your life that can really speak life into you. They've been through it. They know what you're going through, and man, that's so key.
Like that, that's some awesome practical stuff that for all ages, all walks of life can look back and really take some keys and some good inserts into their own life. So I appreciate having you on here.
Hey, I appreciate it. This is my first big gig in
you
life,
go.
and I'm telling you, I'm honored, and I hope you guys have me back.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Anytime. You're welcome back to Coda's Crib anytime. Like say, thank you for being gracious enough to come on and give us some of your time. And like say, it was awesome. So.
It was an honor.
All right, appreciate it. You got any,
Tyler?
That was great.
Tyler?
No, it's cool. It's Josh has been a family friend of mine for a while. Sometimes I call him my second dad, my second family. Whenever I would be struggling with things and my parents are home, I would go to his house. So he's definitely a real man of God, leading the church the way God wants it, not what he wants. And so I'm very thankful for him, what he's done in this building with Solid Rock, and can't wait to see what's to come from Solid Rock.
Well, you have beautiful parents and a beautiful family. You both do, and that's really cool to have. And it's an honor to know you two guys, and I'm grateful for our friendship and all that we get to do together and enjoy this life that God allows us to have each and every day. So,
amen. I don't think it could end better than that. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, see y'all later.